Hello people of the web, and welcome back to another episode from the Vanilla High server. Many people who have viewed the series have complimented me on our sky-based design, which I'm incredibly proud of. Now, one of the most important parts though is far from finished. Our item storage. Now, Hushbug has some ideas for decorating, but I have several tasks that I need to do before she can do her bit. And I'm hoping that by the end of the episode there will be significant improvements. I built all of the sorting system with just the minimal blocks, so that Hushbug could see the skeleton she was going to build around. My first job is to form the floor underneath the redstone and a base layer around the outside for Hushbug's design to be built on. First things first is to knock out this safety rail. I built this glass floor so that we could see through and see the Guardian Farm and the island below. When I first suggested the idea, Hushbug was a little unsure of how it would look, but now we've got it, she's sold on the idea, and so she wants us to keep it. Obviously, between having glass here and redstone over there, we need to have some kind of barrier, which means these glass blocks need to be knocked out and replaced with quartz, and the walls need to go down, go underneath the redstone and up the other side. While I never seem to find a bucket of water, we've always got plenty of ice thanks to the ice farm. Oh, I forgot that doesn't work. Damn. Okay, this time I broke the ice over there, picked it up with a bucket of water, which means I should be able to do this with any luck. And it's not washing away the redstone. Not that I had any doubt in my mind that it would be fine. And one more. And that should be the height of our floor. Don't wash me off. Yep. One of my biggest concerns is misplacing a block and then having to go pick it up. When you're using quartz, it gets rather expensive if you drop it. Now that looks a little bit different. Although I have to say I'm not a huge fan of the streaks you get on clear glass. At least in the vanilla texture pack. So I just want to try it with some white glass and see how that looks in comparison. I think I'm going to have to give Hushbug a call and see what she thinks. I called Hushbug for an opinion, and after a long discussion, she doesn't know whether we should have white glass or clear glass, and whether we should leave the floor as it is, or change it down to have 2 levels. So basically the decision is, there is no decision. For now. So I'm changing it back to clear. Oop, lucky I didn't fall in that hole. And we can make that decision another day. On a side note, when I dug out this hole here and I was talking to Hushbug, I did say there is one piece of missing glass. It's just here. Don't fall down. You'll never guess what happened 10 seconds later. But she wasn't on this elevation anymore. When I built the redstone, I used half slabs to save on the quartz blocks. But seeing as we've got to make a complete floor, I need to fill those in now. Which is a little bit annoying. And also not very possible in some places. When I'm recording, I tend to turn the chat off, which means teleporting home to the top of the mob farm is not very possible. So the water elevator works quite nicely. Hang on a bit. Hang on a bit. Lazy so-and-so. Here's me doing all the hard work. I've spent a fair bit of time faffing around adding the extra half slab to the underside of the half slabs that are already there, and I filled in the full blocks between. But when I went down to check it, I realised that of course we get this kind of mottled pattern that is on the bottom of quartz blocks, which if you've been following the channel you remember we used to have on the bottom of the mob farm, but I changed it out for smooth quartz blocks, which is something that doesn't happen in vanilla survival, but you can get it from spawn. So I think what I'm ultimately going to do is rip out the entire floor of the sorting system and replace it with smooth quartz blocks, because although it's going to be very time consuming, this is a bit ugly. One of the biggest problems is that because we're over the ocean, if I knock out this flooring, it's going to end up down there and I'm going to struggle to pick it all up. So the sensible thing, which I'm going to try and do for once, is to build a platform underneath and then break out the blocks, just pick them up. Yeah, that seems doable. Now lots of crouching and placing of blocks. I have just enabled delegation. It's when you tell someone else to do the job for you because you're too lazy. Work faster! Which means while she's doing that, I can get my smooth quartz. I'm hoping to keep Hushbug down there so that when I break these blocks she can collect them and let me know if any do drop off into the ocean, somehow missing the platform. And then either I can send her in to go get them, or I can jump down and fetch them. None should disappear past the platform, especially as this will be extended 3 more blocks, but just in case, I'll have her spotting. Now, smooth quartz. I have a stack and a bit, which is not going to be enough, so I have to go to spawn shortly. Now I've replaced the first 3 blocks and realised it's quite a pain doing this because I have to break the redstone, change the blocks out and then put the redstone back. But if I go down here you can see I've done 3 blocks of it. Just need to do the rest of it, and Hushbug's doing well as well. Yeah, that's definitely better. Although you can't tell a difference from here, I can assure you I've ripped out the entire bottom part of the sorting system, replaced it with smooth quartz, and put the redstone back. And I hope it works. I'll be testing it later. But from here you can see all smooth quartz. It looks much nicer. Now for the next part of the project, which is moving the item elevator from there round to somewhere where it's not in sight from the glass walkway. Oh, and I'm covering up the underside of the bulk storage with smooth quartz, otherwise you get all the odd blocks showing through. So smooth quartz will continue down here and stairs along on the edge. Hushbug reminded me that I haven't actually emptied the iron from the iron farms, and seeing as I've been working in the area of the skybase a lot, there should be some in here. Let's see. Yeah, that's not too bad. Especially as that will be in each of the 4 corners. We're currently hoarding all our iron because we don't know what the 1.14 update is going to do. It might break all of the iron farms. It might not. But just to be safe, I'd rather stock up on iron. I've emptied the iron farms, and we got a good amount of iron. Added on to what we've already got in there, which is, what, 26 stacks of iron blocks? Yep, we're definitely stocking up. The next job on my list is to bring the bulk storage down so that it lines up with where the automatic sorter finishes. So my plan is to have this as the new output set of chests. We'll have a building going round here like this and going all the way along the bulk storage. I don't know whether we're going to have a flat floor underneath here or whether it's going to step up one. We'll see. I've checked with Hushbug and she seems okay with the design that I've laid out, which means that this shape here can be continued down as if it's a tunnel. Now all the redstone back here has been placed on quartz because initially I thought that it all might be open for everyone to see, so I wanted it to be on a pretty block. But with this new wraparound thing, the quartz blocks inside is a bit of a waste. So I'm going to rip out all of those quartz blocks with the redstone on them, replace them with a cheaper commodity. I might even use some stone out of the silo, just to justify my building of the thing. And then I've got more quartz to use building the room around it. Now the first thing to do, obviously, is lock these hoppers. So I'll probably place some redstone blocks underneath here. And then I can rip out all the redstone, build the shell, and then rebuild the redstone. Sounds simple enough. Let's get cracking. Now I've ripped out the redstone, it should be a lot easier to place all these upside down stairs. And now I need to decide what kind of a block I want to place instead of quartz, which I think we'll be using stone. Oh look, there just happens to be some here. Oh, I've lost 2 redstone dust. Which means it's probably down here. Oh, there's one. And the other one might be lost for all eternity. I think I can survive the loss of 1 redstone dust. Yeah, I'll manage. I'm rather enjoying this little task. It's nice and easy to do, so I can do it while I'm drinking my tea. Of course, all the quartz that used to be here is being replaced by stone, and I keep running out. But it's very easy to grab when you remember exactly which chest it comes out of. Luckily for me, I have my smite sword on me for a change. Yeah, that was easy. Though I might as well sleep while I have the chance. Just quickly jump into bed, a few snores, then we jump out of bed. We jump. Okay, this glitch sometimes happens. The only solution is to close the game. Earlier in the video, I said I'd sort out the item elevator over here. Although I didn't actually get round to it, seeing as I couldn't think how on earth I was going to fit it in with only 1 block of space between the auto sorter and the wall. Now I've done what I can, however it does leave some redstone exposed. Now the alternative would be to try and bring hoppers to chain all of the items down to the end of the sorting system, and then I've got some space to build an item elevator. The only concern I have is that running hoppers along here, it's very close to a lot of redstone signals and runs the risk of getting locked by the redstone. But we'll have to try it, and if that fails we'll go back to this and just have to suffer with a few bits of visible redstone. This is my output dropper. Now just to test the system, what I need to do is put something in the feed and see whether it comes out at the far end. So 8 granite. In theory that should hopefully feed all the way down to the dropper. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It works. Although I might sound a bit surprised. Of course, all along I knew that it would work. Alright, I had my fingers crossed. As you can see, we no longer have redstone on show. And hopefully, if I've done everything right, the item elevator will work here. I just need to put the water in, which is easy when you've got ice. And you remember to hold shift. There. Let's test it. What can we throw up? $27 sand, that seems sensible. So in theory, if I put 27 sand in there, it should all feed down the hoppers into that dropper. And then the clock should spit them all out. Seems to work. And yes, it is slower without using the soul sand at the bottom, but I think it looks nicer at that speed. Otherwise it will shoot past. and 27 I said, so we should get 27 in there. 26, 27. See? Works perfectly. I have to admit that I'm fairly surprised that I've managed to come up with an elegant solution for the item elevator. Now the next thing on the list is to extend the bulk storage in this direction. We don't currently have plans for what the extra bulk storage slices might contain. But because we plan on building walls around the sorting system, it makes sense to give us plenty of slices so that we can expand into more items if we need to, without having to rebuild the entire end section each time. As a bold move, while I'm working on extending the bulk storage, I'm going to turn on the auto sorter and cross my fingers that all that redstone that I rebuilt still works. Well, lights are flashing on and off. That's a promising sign. We'll see if we'll find a problem at the end. And in the meantime, let's get cracking with building this thing. I was just about to comment how it's nice working on a project at the storage area because I've always got resources to spare. And I was going to point at this area and then I remembered I never actually took out these redstone blocks, which means the bulk storage is currently suspended. Fixed, and I've now got loads of redstone blocks. I was just about to complain that by placing all this redstone here and all the quartz around, I've not actually got a way out of here. And then for a change, I remembered how lovely it is that it's raining because I can use my Riptide Trident. Bit of lag today, but I'm out. So as you can see, I've made some progress. I'm going to continue doing this bit along here and probably cap it up, although I'm struggling on quartz, so we'll see how far we get. Lots of mini grinds have been going on to get the majority of the storage area fully encased. Now I was talking with Hushbug about her plans to add colour, and she said the majority of the colouring and patterns will be added to the back side of the main storage modules. However, some might be injected into the other parts of the build. While I continue to show you some shots of our storage area and the base that surrounds it, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. We recently reached a huge goal of mine by climbing past 100 subscribers. This was done just before the last video released, but I'd already finished uploading it. I am thoroughly enjoying making these videos and being able to share my builds with you all. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And as a bonus, I now have my very own vanity URL, which is youtube.com/ZactheDragon. That's going to do it for this week's episode. If you haven't already become one of my amazing subscribers, please do. And remember, likes and comments really help the chances of new people finding my channel, so it's always greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye now.